doing surveys. And every time we go out and dressing really overly sexy, we're putting our man's life in danger.
Mm.
Because if somebody say to us out of order, say something to us out of order or wrong, then his manhood say he got to step up and defend us over nothing, over some foolishness. And if you got a man and you satisfied and happy with him, then why are you going out trying to entice new men?
Mm.
And the more clothes a woman take off, the more desperate she is. That don't mean she bold and brave and want to get with somebody. That means she's desperate. And that's a cry. Please give me some attention. Please look at me. Say something. Do something. That's what that is. And that's the condition of many of us. That's not anything that's an insult. We're talking reality. We have got to deal with the reality of our lives so that we can make corrections. But making up all of this stuff, and he don't want.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. We're back. We are back. Yes, YouTube blocked me for a week for copyright on a video that I hadn't even actually released. I was actually trying to work behind the scenes about it, and it was said that was copyright. So I got struck for a week. Anyway, we're back, and we're talking to you guys today on a live. We're discussing this topic, Shahrazad Ali. She spoke, came up on Spiritual World. Actually, it was a video that's done time ago. I actually remember watching this video originally on mediocre tutorials. And, she discussed something which has obviously gone viral on Spiritual World. And I want to be very frank with you. I don't like this rhetoric. I think it's a very dangerous rhetoric, which is why I'm talking about it. It's actually dangerous. To have this rhetoric is very dangerous. Because the topic we're talking about here, what it leads to is one, abdicating any responsibility and accountability on the men's part, and two, it actually, if you translate that message in another way, which I'll talk about in a few minutes' time, you'll see how problematic this mindset is. And the reason why men are champion, or someone like Mediocre Tutorials and others are champion Shahrazad Ali, is because she has a very misogynistic, induced mindset, or we should say male-orientated. I do not discount the fact that she's done great work for the Black community, but we need to start also doing this thing where we can't hold more than one truth. You could have done amazing things for the community, and you can say some problematic things that are just downright ignorant and dangerous as well. So I've seen some of Shahrazad Ali's stuff. She spoke candidly to power, to Black people, in terms of dealing with racism and dealing with what we suffer discrimination in US and stuff. And so I appreciate the work that she did over there. That don't mean that when you start talking madness on the other side, I go, well, you just continue, and and I'm like, nah, if you talk madness, we're gonna have to correct it. By the way, this was recent. So this is not even like she did this years ago. This is recent that she had this conversation and she held these views. It's outdated. It's outdated views. It is problematic, the views. It's troublesome, the views. And actually, there was a video I watched just the other day, and it was on racism in South Africa. There was a British white girl, or a South African white woman or whatever, talking with a Nigerian young Black boy, and they were both educated. And she was talking about how the housing system in South Africa is a plague for Black people, whatever. I was like, wait, what? I was like, wait, what? So you see, in a moment in a season, your particular viewpoint can sound good. But when it comes to another day in another season, it's problematic. Now, the fact that Shahrazad Ali has used it even today tells me you're having outdated viewpoints and you're not even thinking about how this is detrimental to other people. Now, I want to be very frank. I think there are some good stuff that she does say. There's some obvious things I think are going to be said. But when it comes to when people are attacked, why people are violated sexually, why people are assaulted sexually, especially women that we're talking about here, if you go and use this logic and this rhetoric, you're a danger to me. You're a danger to our society. If you preach that message, you're a danger. And I'm saying that because I wanted to put absolute emphasis on this message that it's poor, it's povertous, and I don't like it. And the fact that the men are championing it is problematic too. The fact that Manosphere are promoting it tells me about the misogyny that's lodged in our brains. And unfortunately, we're not able to discern that, a lot of times. But I said I'm going to come back with a bang, and I'm back with a bang. You get me? Listen, if you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor. Like it, share, subscribe. Click on the bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you guys as well. You know what? It's been a week or so, and but we're back with a bang here. Get me? If you're returning, you already know what it is, baby. You got the middle rose. You got a middle rose. Stay hydrated because the streets out there, they are hot. Let's get into this video. Let's talk about this Shahrazad Ali. I'm going to watch it again. I want you guys to see this as well, so you just can watch it again and understand where we're coming from as well.
This woman doing certain things or dressing certain ways, and every time we go out and dressing really overly sexy, we're putting our man's life in danger. Because if somebody say to us out of order, say something to us out of order or wrong, then his manhood say he got to step up and defend us over nothing, over some foolishness. And if you got a man and you satisfied and happy with him, then why are you going out trying to entice new men? And the more clothes a woman take off, the more desperate she is. That don't mean she bold and brave and want to give with somebody. That means she's desperate. And that's a cry. Please give me some attention. Please look at me. Say something. Do something. That's what that is. And that's the condition of many of us. That's not anything that's an insult. We're talking reality. We have got to deal with the reality of our lives so that we can make corrections. But making up all of this stuff, and he don't want his woman doing certain things or dressing certain ways.
Now, I think there was some good stuff in here, what Shahrazad Ali is saying. Let's be obvious. You know, talk about if you want to talk about psychologically, you know, if I want to dress sexy, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know the impact it's going to have on people. I know it's going to move eyes. Let's just be real. There's a lot of us that are vain. There's a lot of us that are egotistical. That's both men and women. You know what I'm saying? I dress nice because I want to be complimented. Now, of course, I dress nice to make me feel good. Don't get it twisted. But the inevitable cycle is I feel good because I know that you're going to notice it and I know you're going to validate it. I know I feel good about dressing nice because I also value the clothing that I'm potentially wearing. I feel good because I know that you might, you know, your validation may come from eyes looking at what you're wearing. Now, that's fine. That part, we can all rock with it. We all know that there, and then when people say to me, oh, you know, I don't dress for nobody else, I'm like, all right, cool, that's fine. I don't particularly believe that, but again, that's not the rhetoric I'm talking about. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe, innit? No problem with that, right? It's this part I'm going to show you where it gets dangerous.
And every time we go out and dressing really overly sexy, we're putting our man's life in danger.
Let me pause it there. Why is it that if somebody dresses sexy, they're going to suddenly put their man in danger? Right? Let's work this appropriately. If my girl is dressing sexy and my life is now in danger, why is it in danger? It's in danger because of another man. You don't escape the accountability for a man. I'm not here to try and push an agenda for men or women. I just like logic, and and if we're saying we're championing logic, if manospheres say they champion logic, I need you to think. I don't need you to be dumb. That's the thing that I hate the most. I get frustrated when people end up being dumb and then follow other things without thinking. Think. That's what your brain should be doing. You don't just follow absent-mindedly. If I'm in danger because my girl dresses sexy, why am I in danger? I'm in danger because of another man. That's first and foremost. So accountability, first and foremost, should be drawn to men, because there's other men that are putting me in danger. That's the first and foremost, right? If we just take the statement as it is, I'm going to break down the statement, right? Okay. I'm going to break down the statement as to why this is problematic. Okay. So another man is going to what? Number two thing is this. My girl dresses sexy. Another man is going to disrespect my girl because she's dressing sexy. Let's break this statement down. Okay. First and foremost, I've been a man, okay? But I've rolled with women before. Okay, we have a thing called carnival. Okay, you guys know it as well, America, I'm sure you know. Have a thing called carnival. I've been with girls I've rolled with, right? Yeah, and I said this. I would never. Uh, I've never rolled out with a women's carnival again after this, because after this happened, I said I can't do it. Right? I was rolling with some girls at carnival. They weren't dressed sexy. They weren't even showing skin. They weren't even showing skin. Yeah. Me too. I was in a vest. I was hench. I was looking, ready to go rounds. Yeah. And I rolled with them, and these girls weren't even dressed undecently. They were dressed decently, I would say, my point, right? And the men still grabbed them. The men even said to me, "Bro, is that your girl? I'll take you and your girl out." What, bro? I almost got into a fight because a man wanted to put a smoking bud in my chest because of another girl. Not because she did anything, just because she existed. I need you to understand that these people doing this stuff do it regardless whether you look sexy or not. It's got nothing to do with them dressing sexy. It's a myth. It's a myth us men like to tell ourselves, right? It's a myth our men like to tell ourselves in order to remove accountability for the fact that there are people doing things not because of this said thing, but they choose to do that because they're evil. It's as simple as that, right? They're evil. Simple as, right? And I'm only using carnival. I'm only using carnival because carnival is a place where men move mad anyway. And I'm saying to you that it doesn't matter, right? I'm saying to you that when I've dated girls before, right? Dress sexy with me. I've never been approached by. I've never had another man come and beef me over my girl. Never, never, never. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying to you, I've never had it. Do you know why? Because most men see another man with a girl and tend to respect the man who's with the girl. That's why I said this particular example she's given is very problematic for me. Because any man who decides to try to look, man them see a girl who's with a friend and we're not sure whether it's her man or not. We don't even approach. You- let's keep it. Let me keep it a buck. Man, them I can be out with my boys. All right, I can be out with my boys. Okay, all right. And what you will see is if we see a girl bad, looking spicy, looking sexy, but she's with another guy, and their behaviors we're not really sure whether they're together or not, or whether they're just friends. Right? We don't we don't approach. We don't approach. Right? We don't approach. Now, the man that decides to approach oftentimes is nuts in the head anyway. He's nuts in the he's not sane. Do you get what I'm saying? He's not sane. Because the whole point is that men see other men and respect boundaries because we know if we don't, it's war. Do you know what I'm saying? So the fact that my girl's dressing sexy does not put me in danger because most men wouldn't even approach, let alone do anything. Do you get what I'm saying? The man that does something is warped. In most cases. I don't know a sane brother. Yeah, and I know some guys that know who are smooth with it, who are unless my girl is giving him eye. Unless my girl is giving him some eye or some contact or some invitation to come and see, the brother ain't even coming over. Now, a brother might look. A brother might be like, rah, she's kind of fine still. We all do that. But that's not putting me in danger, bro. That's not putting me in danger. I need you to see how nuts this is when you actually bring this down to a practical level. Like I'm telling you as a man perspective. And that's why I find it's just disheartening to hear the nonsense. It's like her dressing sexy does not create an environment where another man comes and disrespects me. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't. You know what I mean? So that example doesn't wash with me because I'm like, I've never experienced that. I've never seen that happen, bro. Bro, I've never seen that happen, bro. Now, if that girl was alone and says she had a man might approach. Yeah, of course. He doesn't know she got a man until he talks to her. right? Or a man might know that she has a girl, but she's not with. I mean, a man might know the girl has a man, but she's not with a man right now physically. He might approach the man. He might approach the girl. Of course. But if I'm rolling with you, I'm rolling with you. I'm with you. You're dressed, quote unquote, sexy according to the culture. A man's gonna put me in danger. Where, please? Where, please? Where? Let me put perspective on what we're saying. How men are mad, and it's nothing to do with sexy. I can prove this. Bible, right? Bible. Let me prove what I'm talking about, right? I hear you, Edna. I hear you. I hear you, but I'm gonna disprove that point that you're making. I'm gonna use the Bible to prove it. Abraham in the Bible lied to Abimelech, the king in Egypt, because he was afraid that Sarah's beauty, the king would see it and want to take it. Not because she was dressing sexy, not because she wasn't wearing no clothes, but because the king has an ability to do whatever he wants without consequences. That's somebody that's mad. I need you to understand that, right? That's somebody that's mad. The equivalent is you going out with your girlfriend and potentially meeting maybe a celebrity that's very renowned and well known, right? And even then, it wouldn't be the same because kings could do whatever they wanted. Kings are not celebrities. They're completely different, right? Kings can do whatever they want. And if you say something, you could be dead. I want you to understand, Abraham was scared to bring his wife because she was beautiful. That's it. Not because she was sexy, not because she dresses in an inappropriate way, not because her bum cheeks are hanging out, simply because he knew that she was pretty and that he went somewhere and he knew that this king can do whatever he wants to do without any consequences because the king can be mad and there's no one to tell him. So now he goes into Egypt. He says, tell him you're my half sister. Right? Tell him that you're my half sister. Why? The king ends up taking Sarah because he thinks that's a woman that's coming to it, right? Okay. And then obviously in the end, Abraham, God tells the king, listen, don't touch her. That's my boy's girl, right? I'm just showing this exact this point, which is this, right? Exactly, EDB. And this is actually what it is. It reinforces rape culture, right? Okay. All right. So what I'm saying here is how deadly what she's saying is dangerous. It sounds innocent and maybe she's not fully aware and self-aware and worked this all the way through, but it's dangerous because what you're saying in a sense is if I dress sexy, it's going to encourage man to move mad. But that's not the antidote. That's not the, that's not the truth, right? That's not the truth. Right? That's not the truth. The truth is men don't see boundaries because they're in position of power like a king. Okay? Like a king, right? And they have no boundaries and no consequences. They say and do stuff because they're entitled. That's the whole point. Right? So let's not pretend and let's not make anecdotal stories that none of you can even provide because I need someone to provide me a story where a girl dressed sexy and another man approached that man based upon the fact that he saw his girl was sexy and wanted to disrespect man. Listen, here's the next part. Here's the next part we're going to deal with, right? Listen to this next part.
Because if somebody say to us out of order, say something to us out of order or wrong, then his manhood say he got to step up and defend us.
Pause. No, that's his toxic masculinity. All right? That's his toxic masculinity. Right? That's his toxic masculinity coming through. Why is it that my first reaction is to now start a beef to the fact that it's gonna be war physically? Right? And my point is this, and someone's put it in the chat already, right? You can be in any. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. Even me, you could listen. If you've got a body, you don't have to be in leggings. You can be in normal jeans. You can even be in high-waisted jeans that don't even fit properly. You could be even in jogging bottoms. I'm gonna look at, oh, the girl, the body, she got a body still. God damn, girl is sexy. Now I'm not about to catcall you. I'm not about to disrespect you coming over there. I'm not about to do any of those things. But my brain, I've seen, if you've got shape and body, it don't matter what you do. I'm like, oh god damn, she's pretty. Oh yeah, that's good. She's fine. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. If she's not dressing sexy, what if she looks good? What are men only being disrespectful to your girl when she's dressed sexy? Or would they be disrespectful because she looks good as well? Right? If he's gonna be disrespectful because she dressed sexy, it supposes to me to say that he's gonna be disrespectful because she looks beautiful too. Right? Because the disrespect isn't necessarily about the dress, it's about the fact that he's attracted to her, right? So he's being disrespectful for it. So you can look good. You could have a bag on you and your face look pretty and he gonna say something disrespectful. Right? Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what context you bring it in, even if the person is sexy and dresses appropriately, he can still be disrespectful, right? He can still catcall. Damn, ma, you know, it doesn't matter how she dresses, the disrespect can still come because the audacity to disrespect in the first place is what we're talking about here. As a man, listen, as a man, I can think something. That's a completely different story. If we're talking about thinking something, different story. Of course, the way you dress can make people address you in a different way. We can be honest about that, right? We can be honest about that. But to start a whole beef when there's another man in there doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. To start a whole beef, that man would have been doing that beef regardless. Regardless. Do you get me? Let's go back onto what she said, right? And again, this is why I don't like when people say something. If we're talking anecdotally, if we're talking about people's experiences, I've spoken to enough women to know doesn't matter if you're thin, whether you're fluffy, whether you're short, whether you're tall, whether you have bum, whether you have breast, whether you have tight clothing, whether it's loose. Most women have suffered either inappropriate touching, sexual assault, have suffered with catcalling, have suffered some disrespect in some type of way. It doesn't matter. Most women have suffered it. You speak to any woman. If you want, go out there and go yourself and talk to them. If man them are there listening, you go and talk to a woman. Ask them in their experience, have they ever been disrespected by another man? And you'll find out they have. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you're dressed appropriately or not. Disrespect can happen. Right? And so I'm saying to you that if another man would approach you on the street and disrespect your girl, like for instance, I've got my arm around my girl and a man slaps her bum. Let me tell you this now. If he's got the chest to slap her bum whilst I'm there, it doesn't matter how she dresses. This guy is ready to die. Clearly, this guy is crazy. He doesn't mind. Right? If a guy would slap another girl's bum, no matter how she dresses, if he was willing to slap a girl's bum whilst another guy is there, I'm telling you now. Right? I'm telling you now. That person is mad enough to do anything. Right? That person's it doesn't matter what she does, he will do anything. Because men tend to respect the boundaries of other men. That's how men are. Yeah? Do you see what I'm saying? It's wild. So this thing about this anecdote that she gave about how a woman can dress sexy and another man will say something and you will have to defend the honor. Why is it that my natural inclination is to fight? Why can't I say to her, listen, bro, listen, that's not it, man. This is my girl, don't do that kind of thing. Why is that? Why? Do you know what, daughters? let me be real with you. When we were in year 8, year 9, I mean, I was even thinking this. Even in year 5, let me tell you this. Year 5 for us is like I was 9, yeah. Listen, at 9 years old, I remember we had one teacher, long legs, very beautiful woman. We called her Miss Verity, sweet woman. At 9, us boys were discussing. Do you know how buff Miss Verity is? And at 9, everybody wanted to be around this teacher because she's buffing it. Then you get to 15, and I remember we had a teacher that had just chest. Do you know what man they were doing? One guy, the disrespect of this one guy, the guy decided to even leave a condom on the table. Like, it's mad what men can think about doing. Now, there was no man around. That was her man. Had her man been around, I don't think a lot of these boys would have done none of those stuff. Right? Leave a condom there. I made a comment else inappropriate at 15. I said to the teacher, "Oh, you know what? I'm even ready for breast wing. I can't wait to go to KFC to get breasts." And she told me, "Listen, this is inappropriate, and I don't like what you're saying." I was like, "All right, cool." I was 15. I was moving mad. I was stupid. Like, do you know what I mean? But would I have said that if a man was there? No. No sensible man in their right mind would say these kind of things, right? Okay, so let's be, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying there, right? Okay, cool. Let me just listen to it a little bit and then break it.
Over nothing, over some foolishness. And if you got a man and you satisfied and happy with him, then why are you going out trying to entice new men?
Okay, cool. So, I'm sorry to hear that, daughter of Zion, man. That's not nice at all, man. That's not nice at all. Apologies for that, man. It's not nice at all. So yeah, like, so back to my point I'm saying here. Okay, so men are fighting. If a man is approaching another man that's got a girl with him, it's crazy to think that there's beefs happening, right? Disrespect happens irrespective of whether you dress sexy or not. Okay, disrespect can happen. Sexual assault still happens. Okay, that's a given, and I want you to understand how problematic this is, because definition of sexy can shift and change depending on the man. Now, of course, we can converge and come to the same idea. Let's say you got, a low cut top. We may all say, okay, well, it's sexy. But then if that low cut top, the girl hasn't got much breasts, someone might say, well, that's elegant. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you see how perception changes? Someone could have a little to no breast and they wear a dress that's a little bit low cut, and everybody will say, that's an elegant slip dress. That's an elegant dress showing your back. Oh, beautiful, elegant, classy. Then you have breast and you wear the same dress and everyone goes, that's really sexual. You're trying to entice people. You could wear a dress and you know what? It fits your body perfectly, but you got a big bum. So the dress now goes over the bum, and and now it looks tighter than other people. And yet there's another girl who's skinnier, who who doesn't got a bum, but has the same physique, same size as you in terms of dress or whatever. And do you know what? The bum is not perking out the same way. And someone's gonna say, "Oh, she's dressing mad sexy," because of the way we perceive things, right? There's an over sexualization of certain body parts. Okay, fantastic. Now, what I want you to understand is this. Okay, what I want you to understand is this. If we're saying that a man can fight another man because the man disrespected a girl because she was dressing sexy, bearing in mind sexy can be defined in different ways. What happens when that woman is a small girl? This is why I said it's going to get mad. What happened? And sorry, trigger warning, apologies, guys. Sorry. Trigger warning for anybody who's been sexually assaulted as a young child. I just want to put it out there. If anyone's listening to this, because I am going to talk about sexual assault, I want to make sure you guys are aware. Trigger warning again. I do apologize. I should say this from early. What happens? Okay, what happens when this is not a woman? This is a young girl. Yeah, right. What happens when this is a 4-year-old? Okay, who's got shorts on and a vesty on and showing arms and legs? What happens? Right? What happens? Because surely, if you can't control yourself, right? So suddenly men can't control themselves. What happens when a young kid is seen as sexualized? What happens? Right? That's where it becomes problematic. right? It's problematic, right? It's very, very problematic because what you're in a sense saying is, as an adult, I can't control myself with women because they're going to be looking sexy. But I'm saying to you, but if someone's got skin out, because that's what it really is, you got skin out. How can I trust you? How can I trust that you'd be cool around my kids too? Okay, maybe you might say 4 year olds is too young. All right, she's 13 but has got body. What happens now? What happens now? She's 13, got body though, or 15 but got body. What happens now? Right? What happens now? Thank you, Lisa. That's exactly what I was going towards. Right? What you don't realize is if you're able to harass another woman, wow, it just blows my mind. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. If you can't hold to boundaries, we're not 13, we're not 10. And I told you, like, when we were in school and when we were young, we were all doing stupid stuff. But when you get to an adult and you still have to tell people about boundaries, about not just touching someone just anyhow, not going ahead and just touching somebody. Do you know what I mean? Like, why do I have to? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why do I have to educate you on not touching someone in public? Like, it's just, and I'm taking it to the furthest reach because it's about the. We don't talk about. We don't just talk about where it is now. You have to talk about how the behavior can increase. That's why we're talking. That's why I'm talking. That's why I'm talking about the end. Because someone might watch this and be like, "What do you mean? What do you mean? What does that mean? You know, you're taking it too far. You're being extreme." But the problem is, it doesn't start from the extreme. It started from the beginning of the building blocks. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm trying to say that I'm trying to say that here that we have to be very careful the rhetoric that we use. You know, we have to be very careful the rhetoric we are using. So if we're gonna preach the fact that another man will get into a fight with another man because she's dressed sexy, because he's going to and listen, why am I first and foremost to get into a fight, right? To get into a fight first and foremost, if you're getting into a fight because a man said, "Raw, she looking sexy enough," or you know what, you can, and by the way, this is disrespectful anyway. You know what, she can basically suck my, whatever, right? A man says that to your girl, and if your first thing is to get into a fight, I'm gonna tell you that you're missing it, bro, because it's only gonna escalate. I'm not saying you can't check it. I'm not saying you can't address it. I'm saying, but if you're throwing fists straight away, I'm questioning your anger issues too. Where's your self control? You're getting straight into a fist. Like, bro, listen, it's not worth it, bro. Right? As we're adults, we have to learn self control. Right? We have to learn self control. So the self control on the man who's doing the disrespecting, but also self control on me. Why is it the first thing I'm doing is throwing a punch when you come and you say, "Oh," and listen, it's disrespectful. You might say, "Oh, your girl's bum look big," or you might say, "I wouldn't mind hitting that." But why is my first thing to now try and throw a punch? This is what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it's very dangerous rhetoric, very scary rhetoric, and we have to be very careful promoting this type of ideology because that's where it leads to. Yeah, absolutely, Koyonga. Absolutely. Absolutely. There are people that are sexually assaulted who are wearing burqas all the way from head to toe. It's nothing new. Let's stop this. Let's stop that cap and let's stop the nonsense. It's rubbish. It's a mythological idea that sexual assault happens because you dress sexy, and this is something that I had to unlearn as well. I preach. I really appreciate my friend sitting with me and talking to me about these ignorances that I had. You know, we didn't. No man moved like that because she dressed sexy. He moved like that because he himself is evil. Someone asked a question. Honest question: if a dude slapped your girl's bum while you were there, what would be your reaction after you admonished him? Can I be honest with you? There will be no fight happening. None. Not with me. No. No. I would never. Mm-mm. No. If a dude slapped my girl's bum, I would not be in a fight. I would check him. Say, bro, listen, that's inappropriate. That's my girl, and you actually disrespecting me right now. Simple as, babe, let's go. I'm not trying to have there is no need for me to enter into a fight. There's no need. If this escalates and gets bad, I'm even with my girl. What happens if he punches her? What if now happens if he does something and it escalates and she gets hurt? Self-control. You have to understand, this is not the time nor the season for this. Fighting should be my last resort. Fighting should be my last resort in order to sort out an issue. You know what I'm saying? So for me to get into a fight just because you slapped my girl's bum, listen, I'm gonna also talk to him. Yeah, of course. Hey, excuse me, listen, sir. I'm gonna talk to you for a minute. That don't run around here. Do you know what I'm saying? But again, this is a very rare scenario because unless I'm away, unless I'm separate from you, right? And let me be honest with you. Let me be honest with you. Let me be honest with you. I did have a situation where I was walking with my girl, and I went ahead to go and get something. I had to go and get something, so I went ahead to the cash machine, but she was around the corner, and she said she was walking, and a guy slapped her ass. So she came to me, and she told me the story, and I said, "Where is he?" And she's like, "Babe, no, I don't want you to." I said, "No, where is he? Where is he?" But I was incensed, right? But she told me to calm down, like, and in that moment, I had to calm down in it. But I was ready to go to war. You don't realize you're about to go to war until you realize, right? I ready to go to war, but she told me calm down. Calm down. Listen, I'd rather you just actually stay with me, because she was shaken up by it, right? If your first thought to fight in that moment it sounds good, right? It sounds good, but first and foremost, I need to make sure my girl's okay. That's the first and foremost. Are you okay? You're right. And probably I need to remove her from from the scene. If someone's just slapped your girl's ass, it may seem like you should be ready to war, but actually I need to make sure you're okay. Are you okay? You might be shaken up. Like me now coming to fight is more my ego than anything. No, I need to take my girl away. Talk to the guy. Say what I need to say to the guy. Take my girl away. Let's move away. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, any guy slapping your girl's bum is probably mad up here. I'll be honest with you. If they don't know you and they're able to slap your girl's bum whilst you are there, not like when you're not there, but you are literally there, right? You're literally there, then that person is mad. Because men, even men who are a little bit here, they would not end up doing this behavior. Do you see? You know? So, you know, I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, the situation, listen, can we have a discussion about dressing with decorum, or can we have a discussion about dressing in a particular way where someone's going to approach you in a particular way? Of course we can discuss that, right? But even my approach, if I'm breaking your boundaries, I'm touching you. No, we're on a completely different aspect. You know, um, what I mean, you know, yeah, and I can rock with that, Sean. Of course. Listen, look, we can say that obviously, if you're dressed in a particular way, you're gonna get addressed in a particular way. We can talk about that. That's a completely different topic, I would say, right? If you're dressed in a particular way, you can be addressed in a particular way, of course, right? Of course. But when it gets to a point where we're breaking boundaries, okay, you're dressed in a particular way, so I slapped your ass or I grabbed your ass. What? We're breaking boundaries? You know what I mean? That's where we're like, wait, whoa. Where are we going with this? Like, what? Do you know what I'm saying? That's completely different. How someone might address you, they might be rude to you. Say, of course, they might do that. Do you know what I mean? They might say something, okay? But like we're saying originally, listen, when it comes to things like men who are who are actually disrespectful, they're disrespectful irrespective whether you're old or young, whether you dress sexy or not. You know what I mean? There's too many situations where you hear a man will catcall one young gal, and on your grown ass man catcalling young gal. Like what? I ain't got nothing to do with the fact she dressed sexy. She had a school uniform on, and you're catcalling as a grown ass man. Not you're a grown ass man catcalling a young ass 13-year-old, 14 or 15 or whatever. She's in school, bro. Right? Like you have to have self control. I couldn't have self control because she had her chest out. What? What? That's madness, right? It's madness. That don't make no sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. She's so yeah. For me, Shahrazad Ali. Listen, shout out. We appreciate her work that she's done for the black community, but we have to call out nonsense when it is nonsense. Like it's nonsense. Like we know better now. We have to do better, right? Could have got away with this in 1950s, whatever, 1960s. Yeah. But yeah, no, not in this generation. Not in this generation. We're gonna have to call that out. That's poor. Yeah, that's poor. We can't rock with that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We absolutely know that thirst traps are, if you're doing a thirst trap online, and this is probably a second discussion that's happening. But like if you throw a thirst trap online, of course you're gonna get certain type of attention. Certain men are gonna only want you for sex. Yeah, that's how we get that. But we're talking about now boundaries. Boundaries we're talking about. And those things there, that is a completely different conversation. Boundaries. Boundaries. I hear you, bro. I hear you. So that further proves the point. If men are not hungry dogs, but the 1% that weren't raised right, why are we making that a precedent? That's what I'm talking about. That's why we're saying that it makes it dangerous, because we're making a precedent. Most men would, like I said, if they saw you out, listen, they might think something. They might even say something, and they say, "Listen, you look good." You know what I'm saying? Or you look sexy. You look bad. Well, okay, cool. Those are things that people might say, but to a point where they want to disrespect. You know what I mean? So yeah, we've got to be very careful of this rhetoric. So, but listen, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. We are come to the end of this video. Shahrazad Ali, we appreciate her work she's done in the community, but this one just ain't it. And if there's any man out there who may not understand fully, and I also want to offer this safe space for some men as well, because I also understand that there's a lot of work that a lot of men need to. If you're a man listening to this and you don't see the problem, you don't see the problem, and you think that you think that, what, you want to ask questions or whatever, hit me up on email or hit me up on Instagram. It'll be a safe space. I won't say anything. I won't mention it to the outer world. I also understand certain men have questions. A lot of men too are ignorant, and they will have questions that may, if they ask it in public, will make them seem like they're troublesome people. But a lot of people just are not educated. So if you have those kind of questions, you have some pushback, you want to push back, hit me up personally. Let's talk about it in the DMs, whatever, where it's a bit more safer space, and let's chop it up in dialogue, because a lot of times people, people would be able to then attack you, and I don't want that. I want you to have a safe space to be able to ask certain questions, because a lot of us were ignorant, including myself. Until my friend was challenging me, years ago, challenging me to really think about what I was saying. I was saying a lot of things that are myth. You know what I mean? I was saying a lot of things that were mythical and things that were not true, and saying things that were just my thoughts, my feelings, but they weren't backed up by actually listening to women, actually listen to experiences and what they've gone through. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you're a man out there and you have questions or you thought you disagree or you're tussling with the ideas that are being said to them, then hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up on email or hit me up on Instagram. Let's talk privately. I'm not gonna out you. Let's just talk. You know what I'm saying? It's mad in the dunya. Do you get what I'm saying? Mad in the dunya. Edna, I just want to just correct this. So I hear what you're saying, Edna. I hear what you're saying. Listen, first and foremost, your phrase presupposes already that if I don't believe what you're saying, I'm not a true man of God, right? That's basically what you're saying is already you don't believe I'm a true man of God, right? By the presupposition. And you're probably not saying that, but I would just encourage you to recheck the way you are typing your message. Because the first thing you said is being a true man of God, you would truly understand her point. If I don't understand her point, I'm not a true man of God. That's what you're saying. So I need you to kind of deep that, what you're actually saying to me, and that is problematic, first and foremost, because we can have a disagreements and have different viewpoints. That doesn't change the fact that I could be a man of God or not, right? First and foremost, right? I appreciate that you're not saying that. Just next time, just, check that. And number two, I specifically spoke to talking about how people are building blocks to rape culture and how that happens. If you want to go biblical, we can go biblical, right? I've got no problems going biblical, right? What I don't like is people weaponizing the Bible and Christianity to try and corner people and to think differently. First and foremost, in the Bible, let me give an example. Dinah is a daughter, okay? Dinah is the daughter of Jacob, all right? She is out of the 12, one of the daughters. Did it say she dressed sexy? Did it say that she dressed in an inappropriate way? All it said is she went to another town, and in that town, they raped her. Do you know why? Because those men had no moral code. The man who raped her was a king's son, and ended up wanting to marry her. I don't like people doing this where they use the Bible and you're not even using the Bible correctly. Dinah is one of the young ladies in the Bible, one of the first ladies to be unfortunately raped, right? Okay. And so unfortunately, she went to another town, okay? And the son of the king ended up raping her. Let's not make it, oh, you dress sexy. The Bible is giving you want to talk about Bible, I'll give you the Bible. I've given you Bible. Go and read that. Go and deep it, sit with it, analyze it, break it down, right? You want to talk about these instances? Amnon in the Bible, okay? Amnon in the Bible, all right, was one of the sons of King David who raped his half-sister. Was that because she was beautiful? Was that because she was sexy? Is that because she dressed in a particular way? It is the wickedness of man's heart that drives them that way. Don't come and preach Bible and then don't preach the trueness of the word and don't preach the gospel. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Right? Sorry, Tamar. Well, Amnon was a half son. He was a half brother. Amnon was a half brother. Right? Tamar, the daughter of King David, half brother was Amnon. Right? Her man is Tamar. No, Tamar is the daughter. Amnon was the half brother. Amnon, the half brother, who was killed by Absalom later on. Right? Thank you, Kayonga. Thank you. Right? This is wickedness. So when you're telling me I'm a true man of God, I'm saying to you, then I could say, are you a true woman of God if you have this perspective? No, it's just an ignorant perspective that doesn't consider all perspectives. Right? Because you're failing to see in this moment that if you're talking biblically, they had not, and as our sister put it quite correctly, the clothes that Tamar put on after, she went and put another cloth on after. She had to go and put another cloth because she had been defiled. That's what I'm saying. Right? So let's not do that because we're building we're doing it, and Christianity does this sometimes, and I'm not only talking about Christianity. When people start using culture and tradition above the spirit of the word of God. That's where we get these issues. Letting our culture and our lack of knowledge in areas to now begin to interpret the word a particular way. But the Bible, I've just showed you clear examples through Abraham, through Dinah, through Tamar and Amnon. They weren't dressing sexy. They weren't. They weren't dressed inappropriately. They weren't. You know what I'm saying? Kayonga, we all did. We were all rooting for Absalom when he did it. We were all rooting for Absalom when he did it. Man took her out the game. He took him out the game. Man plotted his death differently. Shout out to Absalom. But so that's what I'm saying to you. I get you, Edna. I hear it. But I'm pushing back and I'm saying to you, the word of God doesn't mean, I'm not saying you're not a true woman of God. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying to you, be very careful how you start labeling people, not being, labeling people in a particular way. And absolutely right, Sandwoods. Modesty does not stop a wicked heart. Doesn't stop a wicked heart, man. Do you know what I mean? Yeah? Yeah. Let's not. Do you get me? So, yeah. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much again once more, guys. Good word there, UDB. Thank you very much. Audience, we'll be back again very, very soon. I know we've been off for a week and that, but we're back with a bang. I've got loads of videos ready to post up. We have Married at First Sight live tonight as well. We'll be back on as well. I got some videos on the Black Love the Show, so I just watched it, so I'm gonna do some videos on that as well for you guys. Ready to Love on this weekend as well as out this Friday, but I think we'll have a panel on Sunday and then a panel the next Saturday after. So the next Saturday after we'll have panels on Saturday, but this panel will be on Sunday. I'll post it up on the community page as well so you guys can get it. We're back now. We're back now. Okay, you know what I'm saying? We're back. You feel me? You know what I mean? So yeah, guys, much appreciation and love. We'll see you again very, very soon. Oh yes, Future, we're doing Married at First Sight tonight. Tonight we're doing it. We are doing Married at First Sight, so we'll be back on as well, guys. Much love and appreciation, guys. Like the live as well for me. Share it with somebody if they need to hear it. We appreciate you guys. Till lots loaded.